Good morning to all. Today discuss about the topic transducer. Transducer defined as the input quantity for most instrumentation systems is non-electrical. In order to use electrical method and techniques for measurement, the non-electrical quantity is converted to professional electrical signal by a devices called transducer. Another definition state the of the transducer is the defines which the actual by energy in one system supplies energy is the same from of the another form to second system. The transducer element transformer the output of the sensor to the electrical output. The input of first one of input of non-electrical quantity is the sensing element through the quantity of sensor responsible on the transmutations of element use of output of the electrical signal. The transducer may be classified according to the structural method of the energy conversion applications. Thus, the transducer classified as active and passive transducer according to the transition. The transducer principle, the analog and digital transducer is the primary, secondary transducer as per the transducer of inverse. The active and passive transducer used of the self-generating transducer, which is the professional truth of the quantity under the measurement. The measurement for the subdivided by following the commonly active transducer. The active transducer is the photostatic, thermostatic, and pressurized, and the electromagnetic. First one, the photovoltaic, thermoelectric, piezoelectric, electromagnetic. The passive transistor. The passive transistors do not generated any electrical signal by themselves. The electrical signal from of such the transistor and external source of power initial. Passive transistors depend upon the changes of the electrical parameters, resistance, inductance, capacitance. There are the externally power drive the transistor. They have the subdivided to the following the commonly use of type. Passive, passive transistor types. First one, the variable resistance, optoelectronic, variable reactance. Variable resistance in three types are the photoconductor, strain gauge, thermistor. Auto electronic two types, photo emissive, photo junctions. Next one, variable reactance two types, inductive, capacitive. Capacity is the three types, the variable area, variable separations, variable the permeability. The inductive is the four types. First one, the variable reluctance, variable permeability, linear variable differential transistor, and the eddy current. Is according to the transition principle of first one, the transistor can be of the classified or according to the principle used of the transitions or capacitor transitions. Is the electromagnetic transitions is the inductive transition, piezoelectric transitions, photovoltaic transition, photoconduction transition. This is mostly the analog and digital transition. The transistor can be the classification of the basic of the output which is can be continuous function of time, and the output of the maybe the discrete of the steps stuff analog transducer. Thus the transducer is a input of quantity into the analog output, which is the continuous functions of time. Strain gauge of LVDT thermocoupled is the thermistor is called analog transducer, thereby produce of the output. Which is the continuous function of the time. The digital transducer is the digital transducer produce of the electrical output from of the pulse with the form of the Unicode. The Unicode of the generator is of the discrete of the value of sensor. Okay, is the basic of next one of the primary and secondary. The primary or secondary is some the transducer consist of the mechanical devices along with the electrical devices. In such transducer mechanical devices are the primary transducers and converted the physical quantity. The physical quantity is the mechanical signal. If the electrical devices converted to the mechanical signal produce the primary transducer into the electrical signals. Therefore, of the electrical devices are the adds of the secondary transducer. For example, for the pressure measurement tube of primary transducer of converter pressure, the displacement of the LVDT. LVDT is a full form is the linear variable differential transducer. This is secondary transducer which of converted to the displacement of the equivalent electrical signals. This is how first one of the output voltage of the secondary windings is the 1-2 windings of the output voltage is into the middle part of the LVDT is the linear variable differential transducer is the core. The primary windings is you stop the ಇದು flow is the fixed end of the bottom tube with the pressure air flow of the pressure is converted to the non-electrical quantities into the electrical quantities. So the increases of transducer, another electrical quantity is the example of the microphone, another one the transducer converted to the signal to electrical signal. Is which were of the loudspeakers in the transducer as converted to the electrical signals is into the sound signal. Okay, this is the advantages. Electrical signal obtained from the electrical transducer can be easily produced and brought to the level suitable of the output devices which may be indicated or the recording systems. Next point of the electrical systems can be the control with a small level power. Okay, thank you.